Hey, welcome back. How's it going today? Yeah, usually when I start I don't have the mic going, and then if somebody comes in then I'll put the headset on. Oops. Ooh, nice. I've got 6 boosters to drop here. No real complaints. We got a huge snowstorm, like around a foot or so of snow, over the last few days, and the city hadn't even bothered to come around and plow the sidewalks, but they finally did this morning, so now I guess we can get around without walking in the road and get run over by the cars that don't stop for us in the crosswalks. So that's good, right? I was calling our public works department for the last 3 days and they just don't answer. Like the phone just rings and rings and rings. I thought maybe they forgot that they were supposed to clear the sidewalks of snow. Oh, nice, you're in Texas? My sister's down there too. Up here in Vermont it's just terrible. It's always cold in the winter and huge amounts of snow and stuff. Although my sister's in, what is it, Amarillo, I think, up by Oklahoma. So it ends up getting kind of cold at night there. It's not like super warm, where she is anyways. I got these new engines after the last mission I did, and for some reason they give out purple exhaust at the end. I'm not really sure why. I've never seen a rocket exhaust that was purple at the tips, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Oh, here we go. Now we're going to be able to drop these 2 liquid boosters off the side. Yeah, it didn't hit. That's the double one, I forget what it's called. Twin bore, apparently. I don't know. Maybe they doped the exhaust with boron or something like that, or... I can't quite figure it either. Some of my lights when I put them on, like I got these blue lights here which show up, but then I also have blue lights somewhere on this main piece here. I can barely even see them. I think I have a skipper here as the next... Oops. Oh no, that's the mainsail. Okay, that's the one. This one just has a ton of thrust, so being that I'm trying to lift that hitchhiker to get, 5 Kerbins at a time onto a planet. Oops. Got a couple space tourists with us this time. I'm gonna try that need to go to Minmus. So I'm gonna go there, and there's a Kerbal stuck on the planet, so hopefully we can rescue that one and give these guys a good show. I stuck 8 of these little things around the side too, these little engines for a little bit of vectoring control. These twitch things. Barely any thrust, but they do vector, so I thought maybe that would help push this back end around a little bit. Yeah, the engine makes widely different depending on how you throttle it on this thing. That's great. There we go, orbit finally. Yeah, I think the mainsail does have vectoring as well. Uh-oh. How did I get myself going on an escape trajectory? Just wanted to get us high enough so we could come around at like 100,000 meters after. Guess I should throttle this engine way more. Yeah, I guess if that does do the vectoring, I probably don't even need those little ones. Oh, holy cow. I didn't realize just how far I'd pushed out the orbit. Okay. I think I gotta revert this flight. Well, my first one of the day, I guess I'm still tired. That engine pushes you out really fast. Well, the other ones I used to have to burn for a long time. That's what I was thinking with the little ones. When I spin the rocket around, the really long one, it's really hard for it to slow down, so I was hoping they'd be able to vector just a little bit. See, this is the thing that I don't quite get, right? I've got these, if you look at the lights coming off, there's bright blue light coming out of these two up on these boosters here. But then I also have ones on these boosters with the exact same settings, the blue, but you can only see this little dot of it right here. And I'm not really sure why these ones shine all the way to the ground and these ones have all blue and they're on and they don't. It's the same exact light. Oh, maybe I did put a different one on accident, but I thought they were all the same. Hold on. Mark II. Oh, I guess I did use different ones. Never mind. You're right. That's weird. Those other lights barely travel at all then. Oh well. let's get this one off with out so much wasted fuel. Wow, those other lights are bright. Even all the way up here, they still glow blue. So the Mark II I'd put more like on a lander or something like that for light, just general area light or something maybe. I'm not really sure what that white stuff over the top of it is. Is that like inconsistent airflow, like some is supersonic and subsonic or something? Like, it looks bad for the aircraft, so every time I see that stuff on my way up, I always cut back on the liquid fuel. So the other guy was trying to get there, but he wasn't steering it by looking at the rocket, he was looking at the map instead? Yeah, sonic booms would have been awesome if they added that to it. I'm not sure why it's not here. Like if you could see the shockwave coming off of it as it reached supersonic speeds. Alright, almost ready for these stages to drop off. These boosters get you going like a bat out of hell. Please don't hit. At least it doesn't blow it up most of the time. Start pitching over now. Got that stupid thing going again. The autopilot or whatever. He showed me how to turn off. The icon? Are you talking these things? Oh. Huh. I've never even looked at these things. What is that in front of me? Ooh, it's glided right by. You talking down here like this maneuver node area? That comes by that ball targeting. Oh, okay. I haven't even gone into that yet. Oops. So what does it do? Oh. Well, that's useful. Thank you. Yeah, definitely. That'll make things easier. All those little tips and trips. I can't speak today. Tips and tricks that you've been showing me are really helpful. There's just so much to this game. It's like, and they don't explain a lot of it. A lot of it you like stumble across by yourself, or somebody else tells you about, and then you're like, man, why didn't I not know about this the entire time? There we go. Maybe. There we go. That's neat. So getting to Minmus, it seems like the best thing is to take the periapsis and bring that out past the Mun, and then push the apoapsis out to Minmus. That should be the motto for the game. How did I not know that? Do you think they'll include like a better tutorial in the second version, or do you think they'll do this sort of the same thing, like just put it out there and let people figure it out? Because kind of both is nice. It's kind of nice that they just let you figure it out, because then, you know, it's like you're learning along the way. I don't know. But it is frustrating at times. Alright, that's fine. I'm gonna go out here now. Yeah. That's probably the big issue with the game now, that's not getting more people into it, so that would get more players if they had better tutorials. At least to get you started, right? And I think it took me 2 months when I started playing this game like a year ago before I could even get a ship into space at all. And then like get a Kerbal back. I'm just gonna do a couple saves because I may screw this up. Alright, so now turn this giant beast around. Turn. Yeah, exactly. Like, not showing you how to do this stuff is extraordinarily frustrating. Like, it makes you like want to quit the game multiple times. But then as soon as you figure it out, it's the most rewarding game I think I've ever played. The only thing that even comes close would have been like Sid Meier's Civilization. That told you a lot of stuff, but there was a lot of like figuring out things along the way too. This kind of reminds me of Civilization, just in space. Where are you? Hello, Minmus. Why was Gandhi such like a nuke happy guy, you know? You'd think he'd be all happy and everything, and you're trying to work with him, you send diplomats over, kills them, tries to nuke you. Not the Gandhi I remember from history. God, I used to play that game on a 286 Tandy computer that I bought from Radio Shack. 640K of RAM. Used to take me, I think, around 4 hours to load a new map. Like, I would just come home, load like the 6 diskettes, and then let it create the map for me, and come back like after dinner about when I was ready to go to bed, and it would like have created the world for me. Oh, really? I never heard that. That would make sense, because that was the exact opposite of what you would expect from Gandhi. And that's the one thing that everybody that's played that game always remembers, that too. You gotta nuke the Indians before they nuke you. Okay, so that's out past the orbit of the Mun. So now I'm gonna go out here and push the orbit out to Minmus. And hope I don't hit the Mun. I haven't played that game in a long time. It's almost too bad you didn't have nukes in this game, so we could try to nuke the Mars planet and see if we could make it into a wet tropical paradise. Although radioactive. Green anyway, so. Yeah, it was unbelievable how long it took to load stuff on that computer. I was just happy I could play anything with it. I mean, I was like 10, I bought it with my money from my paper route. So, oops, that's not working, there we go. Sometimes it saves at the wrong spot and doesn't let me... Alright, so just a... Actually, we're already over there, aren't we? I think I should push it out a little bit further. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I'll just let it loop and see what happens. Closest approach. Let's see, those gotta be these things over here. I haven't gotten into too many of looking at these other nodes of what they mean yet. So these two nodes here. So how do I use that information to help me figure out how I'm going to get caught up in the orbit? Okay, so I should try to get the closest approach marker to show up, move from here to like an intersect with its orbit maybe? So move out to this closest approach marker. Okay. Uh, just to make sure. So where I've got my marker now, if I time warp to there and then lightly fire the engine, that'll move that closest approach from where it is kind of to the left to intersect. I'll save it anyways, so if I mess it up, I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Is the target marker this blue icon, the blue circle here? Oops. What's going on here? Did I accidentally put on that? Yeah, I did. Somehow. Okay. Oh, the purple one? Okay. So this must be retrograde. I gotta go the opposite direction, right? Or wait, is that pink and not purple? I do have maneuver nodes unlocked, but I don't, I didn't like to use them because they didn't seem like they actually did anything. Like you still, I mean, they tell you how to do it, but then you still have to actually fire the engines yourself. Alright, let me get right on top of this. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll start doing that in a little bit. Alright. That's what confused me. This is where I don't really get which axis I'm supposed to go on. I guess the blue one? Oops. I guess like that, right? Oops. It's alright. I gotta plug in my phone. Okay, so... Oops. Damn, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, there's so many complicated names in this. This rocket science stuff is hard, you know? Okay, so... It's got the arrow at the top. That must mean that's where the thing I'm supposed to point at is. Yeah, it's got to be that blue thing, because I haven't seen that before. Okay, thanks. The blue thing is the maneuver node. Dark blue. Why is it doing that? Did I hit that stupid button again? I did. What am I keep doing this? Oops. That's pretty close. Oh yeah, down in the bottom by the nav ball, T-minus 8 minutes 30 seconds. Oh, okay. I'll remember that for the next time. If I keep going around though, this should catch me in the orbit now though, right? So then, I guess it's just because I don't really understand it. What I typically do is I just go up and, oops. Get into line with the orbit until I come in line with it. How would I go from where I am now to get to, or what would you do to get from where I am now to get to Minmus? Or is that where you'd use, I guess, another maneuver node? To figure it out? Maybe I'll try... Okay. Okay, add maneuver node. Oops. There we go. I think. Oops. Hmm. Okay. I just gotta start over with these things. Yeah, I guess it is easier to figure out what's going to happen without making any of the mistakes on it. They just seem a little more confusing to me for some reason. Here we go. That's not what I want to adjust. Wait, these are the wrong ones. What am I doing? Yellow markers is distance. That does help. It's a lot to remember, though. Part of it is that in the mornings I take my medicine, and it makes it harder for me to think about new things like this, which is why it's giving me a real hard time right now. I want to figure these things out, but I don't think there's any way I'm going to do it right now. My brain's just kind of mush. I think I'm just going to try to go around in a circle to get to it. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's one of the big things I've been using for, oh, here we go. Maybe. No, that's bringing us to the mun, right? Yeah, I've been dealing with a chronic pain problem in my neck for the last 10 years, and Mary Jane's pretty much the only thing that you can get outside of a doctor that actually does help with it. It's probably a lot harder for you to get it down there in Texas, though, huh? Here up in Vermont, at least, it's legal now for recreational and medical. I've had a medical license since 2012, so I know it makes a big difference. Too bad you weren't closer than Texas. Could stop over. I think things will change after a little while in Texas down there. I mean, you got everybody leaving all the liberal states to go down there now. So at least some of the places like Austin and stuff will probably have some medical cannabis available at some point, I would think. Oh, good. It'd be so much better if you could like grow your own medicine though, without having to worry about any problems, you know? That's the thing, everybody can, like in a closet, get everything they need, you know, with the right setup and everything. Oh yeah, I use pretty much exclusively hash oil. I grow the plants, then I dry them, grind them up, and then I use hydrocarbon solvents like butane to extract the... Did I do it again? Yeah, I did. And then I use butane to extract the the cannabinoids and terpenes out of it, and just make a pure hash oil, and then just dab that. And it makes a really big difference in the chronic pain I have. I use OG Kush Gorilla Glucose. Yeah, it's way better. What I do is I just take the raw hash oil like in a glass container, and then I heat up a piece of glass or metal called a nectar collector, where you just heat up the tip and then you touch it to the hash oil or get it close to it, and it vaporizes it. Um, and there's none of the like plant byproducts from it. It's just the stuff that you want out of it. It's much better for your lungs and everything. I've been able to get enough medicine into me to help, but then not make me coughing a ton. Where before, when I was smoking flower to get enough medicine in me, it would make me cough all the time. Well, now my lungs are in good shape, and I still get the medicine I need. So I feel like it's a lot healthier, and I switched to that maybe 3 years ago. I would highly recommend it. It takes a bit to get used to and stuff, and you get way higher at first because you're not used to the super concentrated stuff. But it's a lot more efficient too. Like I spent less money when I switched to that. Um, yeah, I definitely would. And if you're ever up in Vermont, let me know because Vermont's one of the we're not allowed to sell anything here. We're allowed to grow our own weed, and we're allowed to smoke it and go around with it. And we can give it to anybody for free, but we can't sell it. So if you're ever in Vermont, I've got more than I could smoke myself, so just let me know. Or maybe next time I go down to Texas, or I haven't actually been down, but when I go down to Texas to visit my sister sometime. Let's see, I'm going to try and bring that in just a little bit further. Oops. Nice. Yeah, summer's great for it if you're ever coming up this way. We've got 21 acres of land, woods. I camp up in the summer, and it's a great place to be in the summer. I've just found such good relief with that, and I think that most people could probably get relief from most of their medical problems by just growing a specific strain of cannabis that works for them and making their own medicine and having less side effects. So my goal is just to produce as much medicine I can to treat my issues, then find people with similar issues that can use exactly what I have, and then develop medicines for people for other conditions I don't have that I can just give them and they can try for free and see if it works. Because so many of the medicines people take are just garbage. They make you sick, they don't work, they cost a lot of money. Oops. God. Oh, that's not bad. That's totally doable then. Because when I went down, I was planning on driving all over the state. I wanted to see, well, as much as I possibly could. You know, go down to Boca Chica to where SpaceX is launching. You know, I wanted to see Houston and Dallas area, Austin. I wanted to see the desert, the highlands, the mountains, the north. You know, I wanted to see the Rio Grande Valley, where peyote comes from. There's a lot of stuff I want to do down in Texas. So. Alright, well I'm gonna try this, and if this doesn't work I'll have to wait until my brain's not mush later to try again. Oh, okay. That's kind of funny. My sister used to live in Dallas, and then she moved to Amarillo. My hope was to come down next fall. I was going to stay up here in Vermont this summer, get into Winnebago and stuff. I'm going to camp up on my land for this bat plague and stuff over the summer. And then I was going to go down in the winter and visit her for a couple months in the Winnebago, like after the fall harvest next year. So, or this year, I mean. So, you know, like November, December timeframe next year. Plus, Joe Rogan's supposed to be opening a comedy club down in Austin somewhere, like a ranch or something like that for comedians, with like a comedy club and stuff. I'm not sure if it'll be open by then, but it'd be cool to check that out. I know he's trying to bring a lot of comedians down to Austin. I sure hope these guys bring a lot of food on these missions. I've already had them up here for 68 days now. Please don't eat the space tourists. They won't pay us otherwise. Yeah, that's really awesome that you guys don't have state tax. New Hampshire doesn't over here as well, but you know it's in the north and surrounded by a bunch of liberal states, so definitely not as many people want to come here. You guys got a lot of great stuff going on with the stuff for business, and like up here zoning is terrible. Like you can buy land and they won't let you develop something perfectly reasonable on it. Whereas in Texas, like you could buy a piece of land between a church and a school and open a, you know, strip club if you wanted to. Yeah, Texas is huge. The economy is going to get even bigger too because you got all those companies like fleeing California right now. And Texas is the big place where everybody's trying to go. It offers, as far as like the desert area and stuff like that, to do a lot of the manufacturing and stuff that's done in certain parts of California for aviation and everything. You can do that in Texas and not get taxed. So that state's going to boom. The only problem I see is that all those people moving from those like liberal hellholes are going to move down to Texas, and then they're going to want to make Texas like the hellhole they came from. So hopefully they don't try and get themselves in office and then change the laws down there to make it, you know, Texas like California. But I guess we'll see. Yeah, it's kind of the way people do things, you know. They don't like something, so they flee from it, and then they miss something, so then they try and make it like their old place, and they're like, wait a minute, why are things getting bad? Yeah, neither one of them has like the right idea on any of it. There needs to be something like in the middle where people actually look at each issue and then see what the best thing is, not just like blindly follow one side or the other. I just want as many freedoms as possible. That's why I consider myself a libertarian. Unless I'm directly affecting somebody else, let me do whatever I want. I should be able to say what I want, do what I want, as long as it doesn't affect somebody else. Yeah, I follow stuff that goes on in the world, politics and stuff all over pretty significantly. Really close here. Can I just shoot towards it faster or something? Well, there it is, right? Yeah, I'll give that a shot. I listen to a lot of that sort of stuff when I'm going to, like, trying to rest and stuff at night or working on different things, like in the background. Big things I'm looking at right now are the protests in Russia right now, because I forget Alexei Navalny or something is his name. It's the political opposition to Vladimir Putin in Russia. Um, he tried to run against Putin for president, I think, and brought up like humanitarian issues and stuff. So they put him in jail, and his wife's been um, organizing marches all over Russia the last few days, trying to get him freed, because he's in this like torture prison, and he's arrested just because he's opposition to them. They tried to poison him in Germany a little while ago. And then he got back and got off the airplane, and they arrested him and sent him to jail and tortured him. And then they arrested his wife for a little while. Okay. If this is target, that means that I should be pointing towards Minmus right now, I think. Yeah, it's pretty bad. For whatever reason, that's the thing I hate about the news, is there's all these big things going on in the world and they never cover them. It's all this like kind of petty nonsense. Like we just had a military coup in Burma a couple days ago, and that was barely covered. Oops, I think I did it again. I keep accidentally activating that like autopilot thing, and that messes me up. Well, I went on that his wife's Twitter page and offered support a couple days ago. Yeah, my brain's just too mush right now to try and do this stuff. Oh, that must be how I'm doing it too then. Well, I've got some gardening to do, and then after this medicine for my back pain wears off, I'll get back on later. See if I can get this ship landed with a brain that's not mush. But it's good talking to you again, though. Hopefully I'll catch you later. It's been great talking to you, and I appreciate the help. Maybe we could do play something together sometime. I'm not sure what other games you play, but okay. Take care, dude. Catch you later. May the Mary Jane force be with you.